ராமானுஜ தயாபாத்திரம் ஞானவைராக்ய பூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதாரியம் வந்தே வேதாந்த தேசிகம் லக்ஷ்மீநாத சமாரம்பாம் நாதயாமுனமத்யமாம் அஸ்மதாச்சாரிய பரியந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம் யோ நித்யம் அச்சுத பதாம்புஜ யுக்மருக்ம வியாமோஹத ஸ்ததிதராணி பிரணாயமேனே அஸ்மத் குரோர் பகவதோஸ்ய தயைக சிந்தோஹோ ராமானுஜஸ்ய சரணௌ சரணம் பிரபத்யே மாதா பிதா யுவதயஸ்தனயா விபூதி சர்வம் யதேவ நியமேன மதன்வயானாம் ஆத்யஸ்ய நः குலபதேர் வகுலாபிராமம் ஸ்ரீமத் ததங்கிரி யுகலம் பிரணமாமி மூர்த்னா பூதம் சரஸ்ச மகதாஹ்வய பட்டநாத ஸ்ரீ பக்திசார குலசேகர யோகிவாஹான் பக்தாங்கிரேணு பரகால தீந்திரமிஸ்ரான் ஸ்ரீமத் பராங்குஷமுனிம் பிரணதோஸ்மி நித்யம். ஜயத்யாஸ்ருத சந்திராச த்வாந்த வித்வம்ச நோதயः பிரபாவான் சீதயா தேவ்யா பரமவ்யோம பாஸ்கரः வந்தே விருந்தாவனச்சரம் வல்லவீ ஜனவல்லபம் ஜெயந்தி சம்பவன் தாம வைஜயந்தி விபூஷணம் வாச்சம் நிஜாங்கரசிகாம் பிரசம் ஈக்ஷமாணः வக்த்ராரவிந்த வினிவேஷித பாஞ்சஜன்யः வர்ண திரிகோண ருச்சிரே வரபுண்டரீகே பத்தாசனோ ஜெயதி வல்லப சக்கரவர்த்தி ஆம்னாய கந்த ருதித ஸ்புரிதாதரோஷ்டம் ஆத்ஸ்லா விலேக்ஷண மனுக்ஷத மந்தஹாசம் கோபாலடிம்ப வபுஷம் குஹனாஜனன்யாஹ பிராணஸ்ய நந்தரமவைமி பரம் புமாம்சம் அக்ரே பஷ்யாமி தேஜோ நிபிடதரகலா யாவலீ லோபனீயம் பீயூஷாப்ளாவிதோஹம் ததனு ததுதரே திவ்ய கைஷோரவேஷம் தாருண்யாரம்பரம்யம் பரமசுகரசாஸ்வாத ரோமாஞ்சிதாங்கைः ஆவீதம் நாரதாத்யைः விலசதுபனிஷத் சுந்தரீ மண்டலைश्च योगीन्द्राणां त्वदङ्गेष्वधिकसुमधुरं मुक्तिभाजां निवासः भक्तानां कामवर्ष द्युतरुकि सलयं नाथते पादमूलं नित्यं चित्तस्थितं मे पवनपुरपते कृष्णा कारुण्य सिन्धो हृत्वा निःशेषतापान् प्रदिशतु परमानन्द सन्दोहलक्ष्मी अज्ञात्वा ते महत्त्वं यदिह निगदितं विश्वनाथ क्षमेताः स्तोत्रं चैतत् सहस्रोत्तरम् अधिकतरं त्वत्प्रसादाय भूयात् विधा नारायणीयं श्रुतिषु च जनुषा स्तुत्यता वर्णनेन स्फीतं लीलावतारै इदमित कुरुताम् आयुः आरोग्य सौख्यम्. नमः सदसे नमः सभायै. One of the very many qualities that is invoked of Paramatma with a very, very charming form, personality, is Lavanyam, Saundaryam, Saumyatvam, Madhuryam. These are all words invoked in the Shastras to describe the beautiful appearance of Paramatma. That said, of these qualities, when these qualities have to be invoked by our Acharyas in their outpourings, they would qualify such outpourings with beautiful adjectives. That adjective that describes the external appearance of Bhagavan is Shobhanatvam. That is why Tyagaraja Swami of the Telugu language, while singing beautiful kritis on Rama, says Shobhane Shobhane. So Shobhanam, Shobha means beauty. And we have also believed that when Rama left Ayodhya, upon receiving the command of his father through Madhyamamba called Kaikeyi, he left with Sita and Lakshmana. Agratah prayayau Ramah Sita madhyesu madhyama prishtadastu dhanushpanihi Lakshmanaha anujagamaha, says Valmiki in Aranyakandam. So they left to the forest. He had to walk bereft of his jewelry because he was asked to pass through a gold jammer. Kaikeyi ensured that she seized every bit of aurum, AU, from the Mendeleev's periodic table from him. So while he was bereft of gold, he walked with no ornaments on him. That time people in the forest said, "You were handsome earlier. Without the ornaments, you look even more handsome." So Shobhanatvam for Rama came in the forest. So Shobhanam in the forest is where you are all staying. So the value of a Manushya Shariram is always to realize that where you stay is bliss. If you keep hunting for some place on this planet which will give you peace more than what your place does, then the journey is going to be extremely Herculean and arduous, both. Irupidam Vaigundam Vengadam Maliranjolayanum Puripidam Mayanukku Enbar Nallor, says Thiruvarangathamudanar. Irupidam Vaigundam. Where you stay is where Krishna stays. Where you stay is where Bhagavatam stays. Where you stay is Ramayanam stays. So if Shobha is a Shabdam, from now on it should give you memories only of Rama. Forest view should always make you think of Dandakaranyam, because until and unless we see divinity in the place we are, we can never ever obtain bliss. Yakashiti na chakashiti bhuvisa yodhyeti nadhyasyate sa avantiti kalmashat avadisa kanchiti nodanchati dhatte sa madhuretti notta madhuram nanyapi manyapuri Yavaikuntha kathara samrita bhujam rocheta nocheta, says the Acharya. Yavaikuntha kathara samrita bhujam, where they speak about the pastimes and the exploits of Paramatma is where divinity lies. So in this divinity and dignity personified premises where many astikas stay, I have been given the opportunity, just not on any other day, but on a beautiful day of Ashada Ekadashi. Ekadashi, ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಭಾಷೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೇನುವೆ, ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಏಕಾದಶಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಈ ತಿಥಿಗೆ ಹರಿವಾಸರಂ ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರು. ಯಾವತ್ತಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ದಿವಸ ನಾವು ಭಗವಂತನ ಸ್ಮರಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆದೇಶ. So this Ekadashi, of course, every Ekadashi has its own speciality. Especially the bhaktas and the astikas who take long journeys by barefoot to a beautiful kshetram by the banks of river Chandrabhaga is Pundarika Kshetram, where Bhagavan has Makara Kundalam. He's got fish-shaped earrings. He's called Vittala. That is why one of the Vagayakara says Tirtha Vittala Kshetra Vittala. The Kshetram is Vittala Kshetram. The Tirtham around is Vittala Kshetram. Vittala Nama itself is a Kshetram. Every Acharya who has sung an abhang in the beautiful Marathi language has addressed the Lord as a personification of unadulterated beauty and blemishless mercy. Rupa pahata lotsani sukha jale wo sazani toha Vitthala barva toha Madhava barva, says one Acharya. The other Acharya says, Jite jata pethe tu maja sangati. Another Acharya says, Majhe manoratha purna kari deva Keshava Madhava Narayana Majhe manoratha. Every abhang is just a beautiful set of words in the Marathi language soaked in honey strung together. But people who have no connection with either the language nor the beauty of the bhakti in the Marathi language now are coaxing people and being violent as to what language should be spoken. Maybe some winds from the Gopalapuram has flown all the way to Mumbai. People who respect one's language and others' language will concentrate more on learning rather than choosing the path of coaxing others to learn. When you're confident about your repertoire in that language, you would never ever have the audacity to give a sermon on languages. Bhasha Giti Prashasta Bhagavati Vachanat Rajavachopacharad, says my Acharya Vedanta Deshika. Language be any. It is the content that determines the beauty of what you have written more than what language it is. On such a beautiful occasion of Ashada Ekadashi, which is especially dedicated to the beautiful couple of Pandharpur Kshetram, Vithala and Rakumai, I am here to talk about Krishna, who has no regrets. As I told you, I will be using a lot of Bharatiya languages. So if you are a Tamil speaking person, you have to listen to some words of Kannada and Marathi. If you are a Marathi speaking person, towards the end of the lecture, you may be even able to speak 2 lines of Tamil. So in the Tamil language, there is a word called Kurai. Kurai essentially means defect. I'm sure in the days of the yore, when there existed a concept called arranged marriage, because that's gone into the dinosaurs, extinct species. So when there existed one such concept where the girl's family will be entertaining another family where the prospect boy is, and the boy will come with his entire battalion of family members to see the girl, and savories and sweets used to be made in the house. If it was bhaji, it will be opted with soji. Yes. So it will always be chow chow batara. Odu uta madodrallu dampatya irutte. So they used to serve, and after the boy leaves the house, the oldest woman in the family would summon the girl, and she would ask if you like the boy. And the girl, of course, she didn't have too many options because she'll be having a dozen people waiting after her to get married. So when families were cheaper by the dozen, so you didn't have too many options. Nevertheless, the question would be put to the girl, if you like the boy. And the girl, with all the coyness, would state yes. And the oldest lady of the house wouldn't stop her questionnaire there. She will ask in the colloquial Tamil language, Idda maaple Tamil பேசுற வரக்காடாங்க யாரு? Oh, ஐயோப்பா Shobane. So then the grandmother would muster the courage to ask, ஏதாவது பழக்கம் இருக்கா? Have you heard of this line? பழக்கம் இருக்கா? பழக்கம் means habit. The grandmother is asking with all innocence, does the boy have habits? Isn't this a very redundant question? Everybody would have habits. But what did she hint at? Bad habits. She didn't use the word bad. Bad was like the latent heat of physics. It's hidden. So when she asks palakkam irukka, it is like maths f of x. If you have x, there is a function of x. So she wanted to know if the boy is a Agnihotri, right, or Tirthavari. That's why she wanted to ask. But she intelligently asked without prefixing the word habit with bad. Because certain words are never spelled out. You know, Voldemort is called the man who is not to be named. Right? So you never say such names, but people get the hint. So the word in Tamil for defects is Kurai. Does Bhagavan have Kurai? Brahma Sutrams 545 in number, called Vedanta Sutras by Badarayana, Parasharya, Vachasudham, Sumanasaha, Dugdhabdi, Madhyodhritam, Samsaragni, Vidipana, Vyapagata, Pranatma, Sanjeevanim, Purvacharya Surakshitam, Bahumatim, Vyagata Durasthitam, Anitam tu, Nijaksharaihi, Sumanasaha, Bhaumaf Pibanpanvaham, says Acharya. 545 Brahma Sutras, a couple of sutras are put into an adhikaranam called Ubhayalinga Adhikaranam. Linga in Sanskritam means identity. கோவிலுக்கு போகும்போது சிவபெருமான சேவிக்கிறது லிங்கம் குரம். But lingam in Sanskrit means identity. That which identifies is called lingam. There are words that are associated with the men, the masculine gender. So you call it lingam. With the stree, it is strilingam. Lingam is an identity. Agama Shastras designate that Mahadeva should be largely worshipped in the form of lingam. So lingam is his identity. Ubhaya lingam. Ubhaya means two. ಎರಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋಕೆ ನಾವು ಉಭಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೀವಿ. ಶ್ರೀರಂಗ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ, ದ್ರಮಿಡ ದೇಶ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋ ತಮಿಳುನಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ ಶ್ರೀರಂಗ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಗವಂತ ರಂಗನಾಥ ಉಭಯ ಕಾವೇರಿ ಮಧ್ಯಸ್ಥ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೀವಿ. ಎರಡು ಕಡೆನೂ ಕಾವೇರಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾಳೆ. வடதிருக்காவேரி ஒரு பக்கம், இன்னொரு பக்கம் தென்திருக்காவேரி. வடதிருக்காவேரிக்கு கொள்ளிடம்னு பேரு, இன்னொரு பக்கம் ஸ்ரீரங்கம். ஆரிரண்டும் காவேரியே அழநடுவே ஸ்ரீரங்கம், ஸ்ரீரங்கம் ஆடியே திருப்பார் கடலாடியே மாமங்கமாடியே மதுரை கடலாடி ஆராரோ ஆரிரோ. This used to be the folk lullaby that used to be sung to children, where it is said that Kaveri saptaprakara madhye sarasijamukulod bhasamane vimane Kaveri madhyadeshe mrudu tara phani rad bhogaparyanka bhage nidra mudra virama katinikada shirah parshva vinyasta hastam padma dhatri karabhya Parichita charanam rangarajam bhajeham. That Ranganatha sleeps amidst the two tributaries of Kaveri. Ubhaya anta helidre eradu, Ubhaya lingam anta helidre Paramatmavukku rendu lakshanangal. There are two identification marks for Paramatma. One, first mark, he should be the repository of all good auspicious attributes. Second, he should not have a single durgunam with him. So these are the two, all sagunams and no durgunams. This is Ubhaya lingam. So when he has no durgunams, no defect, you say kurai, defect, illada govinda, kurai illada govinda. The second meaning to kurai in the language is, if somebody has regrets, you visit some house and they've been extremely hospitable, incidentally, and they serve you with the best of the dishes, having taken notes from Hebbar Kitchen, Fudzi, Yogambal Sundar, Hema Subramaniam, Puliodara Travels, with such a medley of all such recipes put together. They serve you the best of dishes. And after you stay for such a long time in their house, towards the end of your stay, they ask if everything was fine. Do you have any regrets? There also, you will use the word kurai. Kurai edavadu irukka. So regret means I wish to do something, but I haven't been able to do that. There lived a beautiful, devoted, extremely versatile poetess in the Tamil language, roughly 1500 years back in the state of Tamil Nadu. She was called Andal. Shri Vishnu Chitta Kulanandana Kalpavallim Shri Rangaraja Harichandana Yoga Drishyam Sakshatu Kshamam Karunaya Kamalamivanyam Godavananya Sharanaha Sharanam Prapadye Shatamakha Maninila Charukalhara Hasta Stanabhara Namitangi Sandhravatsalya Sindhu Alagavinihitabi Sraddhira Krishnanata Vilasatu Hridi Goda Vishnu Chittatma Janaha. That Goda, the foster daughter to Periyalvar, Vishnu Chitta, was born and raised in a small hamlet south of Madurai called Shri Villiputtur, which is famous for Palgoa. See, nobody remembers Andal. Half our life goes in eating. I asked, what is Rameshwaram famous for? Dosa. Hangagbitide. Rameshwaram andre dosa. ಆ ದೋಸೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಣ್ಣೆ ಇರತ್ತಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಣ್ಣೆ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ದೋಸೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So as you order one dosa in Rameshwaram cafe, you should probably see if Narayana Hridayalaya is in the vicinity. You cannot take the highway, Bari bypass. So Srivilliputturu, yes, it is famous for the exquisite Palgova. But if you can manage to keep this information at the corner of your cerebrum, it is also famous for Andal. Okay. So Andal, her beauty or her outpourings may be in the Tamil language, but trust me, Telugu bhashalo unna Panchamahakavyalo okka kavyam Amuktamallyada. Krishna Devaraya rachinchina Amuktamallyada. Krishna Devaraya was one of the well-educated, art-loving, very valorous, educated administrators of the past. In those days, ministers were educated. So, Krishna Devaraya, while he ruled his region, he had to go and fight the Gangas and some armies of the Kalingas of Odisha. So, on his route to the Kalingas and the Gangas and Odisha, he asked his retinue to rest in the premises of a temple called Kakulandra Vishnu near Vishakhapatnam. So he describes in Amuktamallyada that night Bhagavan appeared as the jamboree of rain-bearing clouds with the color of the precipitational clouds. And then Krishna Devaraya asked, what should I do for you? Should I get the best of flowers? What should I do? Bhagavan said, more than flowers, I would like words to be strong for me. That is when Krishna Devaraya asked, whom should I write on? Should I write it on you? He said, don't write it on me because that wouldn't bring me a smile. If something brings me a smile, it has to be on a lady who loved me the most. He asked in the Telugu, he asked in his bhasha, whom should I write it on? That is when Bhagavan said, write it on the lady who wore a garland first on herself and gave that garland that she wore to me. Sudi kodutta nachiyar. So the translation for Sudi kodutta nachiyar is Amukta Malyada. Then it seems he asked Bhagavan, in which language should I write? It seems Bhagavan said, write it in the best of all languages. And he knew what it was Telugu. Any Telugu speaking Astikas here? See, I brought some smile to you. So, even Bharatiyar, the Tamil poet, says, Sundara Telunginil Paatti Saithu. Telugu is beautiful, Kannada is beautiful, Kasturi Kannada, Telugu Theta. Every language is beautiful. So he wrote a beautiful work on Andal. So Andal tells Kurai Ondrumillada Govinda. She says, Govinda Shabdam generally denotes Krishna. Gavam Indraha Govinda. The one who is the chief of the cows and the bovine race and protects them from all calamities is called Govinda. Gavam Indeti Govinda, says Adi Shankara in his Vishnu Sahasranama Bhashyam. So Govinda means Krishna. So Andal says Kurai, regrets, illada, without, is Govinda. Govinda, Krishna does not have regrets. So I've introduced the topic now. Now the problem is, see, it's a very tricky, Bharatiya, sarcastic, filled way to talk. Parents will introduce both their children to the guests. They'll say, these are my two sons. In Chikkavanu, channaga ottane. So what is the corollary? The first one doesn't study well, correct? She won't say he doesn't study well. He'll say the second one studies well. இது ரெண்டு குழந்தை ரெண்டாவது சொல் பேச்சு கேட்கும். முதல்ல எப்படி என்ன மாதிரி கேட்காது. See, I cannot translate all these sentences. Get used to it. No. Yeah. The point is, two incarnations, avatars that we have received in the form of literature. One, the Ramayanam of a compendium of 24,000 shlokas, followed by Sri Mahabharatam, Sapadalaksha Grantham with Harivamsha, 125,000 shlokas. One after the other talks about Rama and Krishna. So amongst the two, if Andal says Krishna doesn't have regrets, it means Rama has regrets. Correct? Same example. What regrets did Rama have? First, Rama was born as a very precious child to his parents after a long time. I'm sure for parents, every child is precious. There is absolutely not an iota of doubt. But for parents, especially who have been yearning for a child for a very long time, and then the child is born, the child becomes extra precious. That is what Rama is. Dasharatha and Kaushalya prayed to the divinity to bless them with a child with great qualities, but they were quite flabbergasted when they knew that they asked the divine for a normal child with good qualities, but the divine chose himself to be born as Rama. So Rama was born. Now Rama was born and he had a very simple, uneventful childhood. Why am I saying uneventful? Because everything was picture perfect in Rama's childhood. He used to listen to his parents. Obedient children don't give memories to their parents. Right? Only if the child is extremely mischievous, parents will remember till their Atma is gone. Obedient children will, parents will never remember. Yeah. So, Rama is extremely obedient, but trust me, with such love that he received from his mother Kaushalya and father Dasharatha. When he was asked to go to the forest, one was absolutely bedridden after taking a tablet of sorbitrate, Dasharatha. And Kaushalya was in Anthapuram sobbing. That is when Krishna thought, had I had a set of spare parents, if one set of parents had abandoned, the other set of parents would have come. See, whenever you go on a long road trip, the first thing you check is if there is a stepney or a spare. So Rama had a regret that when I left Ayodhya, Kaushalya was too meek to fight her battle with Kaikeyi or Dasharatha. Dasharatha pleaded to Kaikeyi, but nothing worked. So ultimately Rama was abandoned and asked to go to the forest for no fault of his. See, the beauty is, he had no fault, but he was asked to go to the forest for 14 years. So Rama thought, this is a regret that I didn't have my parents defend me. So he thought in the next avataram, I should have one spare. That is why when he was born to Devaki and Vasudeva. Tamadbhutam balakamam bhujekshanam chaturbhujam Shankadayudhayudam Srivatsalakshmam Galashobhikaustubam Pitambaram Sandra Payoda Saugagam Mahara Vaidurya Kirita Kundala Trisha Parishvakta Sahastra Kuntaram Uddhama Kanchingara Kankanadibhir Virochamanam Vasudevam Aikshata. He was born to Devaki and Vasudeva as a newborn child. He didn't even drink the first mother's milk called the colostrum. Even before he could consume, he was shifted days from Mathura to Gokula. From his day till the 10th year, the parents were under the assumption that he is their son, Nandagopa and Yashoda. Later he came back to Mathura when he knew that he had to make some political decisions by annihilating the tyrant maternal uncle called as Kamsa in the battle. So he came. That is why this is a lesson learned. Rama had the regret that he had only one set of parents. That regret was rectified by him in Krishna avataram. So Krishna had no regret. In the Rama avataram, Rama had an older sister. Srimad Ramayanam, Valmiki Ramayanam and Balakandam doesn't make an explicit reference to the lady called Shanta. There is no reference. But there is an indirect reference. When Dasharatha has been advised by his minister cum charioteer called as Sumantra to perform Ashwamedham followed by Putrakameshti, he engages an officiating priest called as Rishyashringa. ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಯಜ್ಞ ಸಾಕೇತಪುರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋ ಅಯೋಧ್ಯ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯ್ತು. ಆದ್ರೇನುವೆ ಋತ್ವಿಕ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಆ ಮಹಾವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಅವರ ಜನನ ಬಾಲ್ಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಿವಮೊಗ್ಗ ಹತ್ರ ಇರೋ ಕಿಗ್ಗ ಅಂತ ಗ್ರಾಮ, ಉಪನಗರಿ, ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಅವರ ಬಾಲ್ಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಯಿತು. ಪಠನೆ, ವಿದ್ವತ್ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ. ಅವರ ತಂದೆ ವಿಭಾಂಡಕ ಮಹರ್ಷಿ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಜ್ಞರು. So this little boy, the son of Vibhandaka, performed austerities atop a hill, Giri. Balyadinda, he had a slight growth, an extension of his skull. It was not normal. It was a bulged portion. It used to look like the single horn of a deer. That deer was of the species called Rishyam. Rishyam is one species of deer. Since he had a bulge that was akin to the horn of Rishyam, he was called Rishyashringa. Rishyashringa performed penance atop a giri. Rishyashringagiri, Shringagiri is Shringeri. So he was from this state, he was called. So Shringeri's person called as Rishyashringa was asked to perform the yajna, has found reference in the Balakandam. But Upapuranam, another Purana, says that Dasharatha with Kaushalya in the younger days had a daughter called Shanta. This Shanta was given in adoption to a king called Romapada of Angadesham. Angadesham is the current day Bengal plus Bangladesh. That is called Angadesham. In Bengali language, there is no Akshara Va. So essentially they will replace Va with Ba. So Vangam is Bangam. Bengal we say, right? So Romapada was of that Desham. So she was given an adoption. Then after many years when they didn't have subsequent children, he performed this yajna. So there was an earlier daughter. Why am I telling this? Because I'm sure some select children, Brihaspatis of our house will ask, why should Dasharatha aspire only for boys? Why can't he ask for girls? Alia too asks the same question in Tanishk advertisement. They will say, he already had one daughter. Beti bachao, beti padao ho gaya. Abhi beta chahiye tha. We should not coax our woke mentality everywhere. We have better things to ask. We can of course ask about how has Trump been treating Elon. That will be a better question to ask, rather than why Dasharatha asked for sons. What can you do? They will not be convinced with my answer. Some people who have made up their mind will never be convinced. So, I wish to know why Dasharatha did that. Go ask in Vaikuntham. When you go to Vaikuntham, go ask, what is the best way to Vaikuntham? Go get caught in Silk Boat Junction. Best way, Vaikuntham. Then from there you can go ask. So, he had a sister, Rama had an older sister, but there is absolutely no authentic evidence that he met up with his sister. He had a sister, she was married to Rishyashringa, Rishyashringa performed the yajna, he was given his absolute feast, but there is no reference to Shanta and at the same time Rama meeting. So that sisterly brother bond is missing. Rama later thought, when you have relationships and relatives in life, you need to learn how to appreciate them. Well, I have never had the opportunity to celebrate my sister, was his regret. In Krishna Avataram, the moment he was born, he was swapped with a girl child born to Yashoda, who was none but Yogamaya, Vaishnavi. So she came, instead of Krishna, she came to Krishna's place to protect her brother. See, sisters are very protective of their brothers. I am not sure if the vice versa is true. Sisters are very protective. So she, as a little child, was swapped. Bhagavan was born on the tithi of Ashtami. Ashtami is a tithi. In both Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha, we get Ashtami tithis. He was born in the nakshatram of Rohini. Rohini nakshatram, Ashtami tithi, Krishna Paksham. It is not Shukla Paksham. Krishna Ashtamyam, the waning phase. He was born. That unique combination which you get of Avani Masam, Krishna Paksham, Ashtami tithi, Rohini nakshatram. That unique combination in Jyotishya Shastram is called Jayanti Muhurtam. But it should be a combination. Ambedkar Jayanti. Enga porandar avar? In Rohini liya porandar. Rahul Jayanti. See, Jayanti doesn't essentially mean birthday. It means you should have Ashtami Tithi and Rohini Nakshatram. That is what Jyotishya Shastram says. But why do we call it Jayanti? Because we are all unique. Something we'll introduce. Now today, in today's dictionary, Jayanti has become birthday. But Jayanti means you should have Rohini Nakshatram. Well, Krishna was born. Remember, Panchanga Tithis don't exactly get correlated with our calculations. For us, if today is the 6th, correct? 6th, yeah. So it would have begun in the morning at 12, in the midnight. Then it will go till midnight. Tithi is not like that. Tithi will begin at 3 p.m. yesterday, will go on till 1:30 p.m. today. So when Krishna was born, he was born in the last few minutes of Ashtami Tithi. In a few minutes after his birth, Navami Tithi had begun. At that point in Gokulam, Yashoda delivered the girl child. Since they were born one Tithi after the other and they shared that loving bond, she is regarded as the sister of him. She protected her brother like a fortress. Karnataka Pradeshadalli ಒಂದು ಸ್ಥಳ ಇದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಫೋರ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ತುಂಬಾ ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಚಿತ್ರವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Fortress is called Durga. So Durga we say, right? So the Durga is a fortress. Since it is a beautiful fortress, that place itself is Chitra Durga. Durga means fortress. Durga means invincible, the one who can never be won over. This girl child who was swapped for Krishna's safety protected her brother Krishna by being invincible. So she is called Durga. Varaduruhajanani madashamani mahishasuramardini mandagamani mangalavara pradayini sarasija nabhasodari shankari pahimam. She is regarded as the sister to Krishna. That is why in Brahmanda Purana, Lalita Sahasranamam says, Padmanabha Sahodari Unneshanu Nishotpanna Vipanna Bhuvanavali. In Ramavataram, he had a sister called Shanta, but there is absolutely no reference to the bond that they shared. He had a regret. In Krishna Avataram, he corrected that regret the moment he was born. He celebrated his sister. Krishna has no regrets. Acharya Devo Bhava. There is a vakyam in Taittiriya Upanishad of Krishna Yajurvedam which says, Matra Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. This is a Veda vakyam. Acharya Devo Bhava. Treat your Acharya as Sakshatul Bhagavanta. Who is an Acharya? There is a definition. Swayam Acharati Sreshtan Tasmad Acharyavan Bhavet. Swayam Acharati Sreshtan. The one who practices and then preaches. But see, we have this English saying, practice what you preach. Correct? Practice what you preach. Am I right? Practice what you preach. In Shobha, Forest View, do you have a different? No. Practice what you preach. There will be different versions, right? That is why. Practice what you preach. There are two activities here, practice and preaching. Which comes first? Stand up on the bench. See, eat what you cook. What comes first? Cook. Then only you can eat. Even if you put the word eat first, the precedence is for cooking. Practice what you preach means it essentially says preach and then practice what you preach. This is a wrong proverb from the Bharatiya's perspective. We have never attempted at preaching first and practicing later. We have always believed in practicing first and then only it gives you the moral authority to preach. Bhagavad Gita Upadesham was done by Krishna later. He lived as per Bhagavad Gita as Rama. He practiced Gita first, then preached Gita as Krishna later. So you will have to first practice. This practicing ability is called as acharati. The one who practices acharati is called acharya. Swayam acharati sreshthan. If I ask all others, speak the truth, all of you have to be extremely honest and speak the truth, and I don't speak the truth. Wouldn't people point fingers at me? Neen hengidiyo? Bari herodu sullu. Nee upadesha martiya. So to do upadesham, you will have to do that first. Parents will always think, oh, my child should do sandhya vandan in the evening. Usko to Gayatri jap karna chahiye. Aap kar rahe ho kya? Are you doing? The father and mother should first become role models for their children even before getting on a moral pedestal of advising. Only if you practice first, you have the moral authority to advise. Swayam acharati sreshthan. So, acharya devo bhava. Acharya has to practice. Second thing, this is for the acharya. How should the student be? Prashnakala pratiksha. You should serve the Guru extensively. Serving the Guru. See, there is one very beautiful question which was invoked by a polymath of the 13th century, incidentally my hero called Vedanta Deshika, who writes in his beautiful work. He asks this pertinent question. He says, a teacher teaches all his or her students equally. They teach the same. ಆದರೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. The other three may forget. He asks why. All are taught the same. All are equal before Bhagavan. All are equal before the Acharya. One remembers, the other forgets why. He answers, அவரவர்கள் தங்கள் ஆச்சாரியன் பக்கலிலே வைத்திருக்கும் அபிமான தாரதமியம். How much you remember of what you are taught is directly proportional to the quantum of respect you have for your teacher. You respect your teacher, that much you remember. Is he teaching something extraordinary? ವಿಕಿಪೀಡಿಯಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದನ್ನ ನಮಗೆ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹಿಂಗೇನ್ ಗೊತ್ತು. That's all. When you sit for the exam, you go amnesia, you'll forget everything. If you do not learn to respect your teacher, that jnanam will never last. If you lie to your teacher, it will not last. Blatant example is Karna. He lied to his teacher. That jnana did not last. So Acharya Devo Bhava is about a student being extremely good to the teacher by offering services. Was Rama good? He was good. Extremely obedient to Vasishtha. Learned all the Shastrarthams from Vasishtha. What did he give in Gurudakshina? Gottilla, sir. See, Rama should have gone and asked, right, sir, please send me your bank details. your IFSC code. I will ensure that I will just GPay that to you. If you don't have one, ask Arundhati ji. Unke paas to hoga. So I will clear. So Rama is extremely obedient. But we don't have a direct preference that he has offered this as Guru Dakshina to Vasishtha. Later Rama must have regretted. Kuch to dena chahiye tha. See, it's Bharatiya Samarthyam. We will, you know what we will say? Our kelilla yenu. Right. So there is no reference to what Rama offered Vasishtha. Rama felt bad, I should have offered my teacher. In Krishna Avataram, till the age of 10, when Krishna was nurtured by Yashoda and Nandagopa in Gokulam and later Vrindavanam, he didn't go to school. Till 10, he has not been to the school premises at all. That is why children like Krishna. Sir, our kuda school hogilla sir, nodi sir. Summe 2 vayasalle namna kondu seri alli illa. Krishna hogida. Then later he did PhD in Bhagavad Gita. See, till 10 he didn't go to school at all. Krishna did not get educated formally while he was with the Vaishya Jati. That is with Nandagopa and Yashoda. While he was 10. That is when one fine day, Akrura, the learned minister of Kamsa, comes and says, your maternal uncle wishes to see you because your relationship with your uncle is because of Devaki and Vasudeva. And there he breaks the news that he is the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, and he escorts Krishna and Balarama. Krishna and Balarama end up killing the steroid-given elephant called Kuvalaya Pida, the wrestlers of those times of WWF called Mushtika and Chanura, and then get into the arena to pounce on the tyrant king called as Kamsa. Right? This is episode number 6 of Little Krishna. Have you seen that? See, this is how he is. Now, after having killed Kamsa, he goes into the jail. 302 is the cell number of Devaki and Vasudeva. He releases them. He gets the release orders. And he releases them, both of them. Ideally, Vasudeva and Devaki should have been elated because he is the only child who survived. 6 of them were killed, the 7th was declared a miscarriage, the 8th was him who was swapped. So they should have been elated. But at the end of the day, Devaki is an Indian mom. Right? End of the day, she's an Indian mom. She didn't even leave the jail. She asked, oh, you're V. Krishna? Yeah. Because he is Vasudeva's son, right? V. Krishna. So you're V. Krishna? Yes. She should have hugged him. She should have just cuddled him. She should have just embraced him. Given a bunch of kisses for being the loving mother. And then joined hands with him and then gone out of the jail. She didn't do that. She asked one question. What have you studied? That is why I said Indian mom. Yen odidiya, homework madidiya. Krishna said, what homework? I have never been to school at all. School hoglilva. How will Deepa Sridhar take in Kumarans? Then she asked Vasudeva, we are not leaving the jail premises. Check immediately which school will take you. All schools say bring PC certificate to adu idu. Finally, one school which was not outdoor, it was indoor. Have you heard of Indore in Madhya Pradesh? Near Indore is a kshetram called Ujjain. In Ujjaina kshetram, there was a rishi called Sandipani. So Sandipani's ashramam said no documents required. He said undocumented people allowed. He was a Democrat. So he said undocumented allowed. So immediately they looked for a crash course. 64 days, 63 nights, 999 only. So Krishna was admitted into that school so that he could bequeath the quintessential knowledge of 64 arts. Gatva sandipani mata chatusashtiratrim mahovihi Sarvajnastvam sahamusalina sarvavidya grihitva putram nashtam niyamanilayana dakrutam dakshinartam dattva tasmai nijapuramaga gnadayan panchajanyam, says Bhattatri Narayaniyam. 64 days he learned 64 arts. Sir, agata sir, yen sir, 64 days ali why? Sarvajnastvam sahamusalina, he knew everything. Then why did he go? If he didn't go to school, then children of 2025, Gen Alpha, correct? Gen Alpha will ask, Krishna hoglilla, nan yak hogbeku? So that he doesn't become an example of ridicule and bad example, Krishna went. Towards the end of his schooling, 64 days, he went and asked Sandipaniji, bank details de dijiye. Why? Because in Rama Avataram, he didn't ask. Remember, Vasishta, he didn't ask. Now he is asking. The teacher said, see, I don't aspire for material benefits. I wouldn't need them at all. Should I? Krishna said, I would love to invest in debentures as well in your name. Let them be non-convertible. So, they give you 10% plus. Should I invest in them? He said, no. Ask something, Sandipaniji. That is when he said, I do not know the art of asking. Go ask my wife. So, Krishna went to Guru Mata. She said, I need nothing, Krishna. Mata, you have to ask something. Okay, I've lost my children who are dead. My children are dead. Go bring them from the Yamaloka. Krishna goes, Gatva Sandipani Mati Sashti Chatusashti Ratri Mahorihi Sarvajnastvam Sahamusalina Sarvavidya Grihitva Putram Nashtam Yama Nilayanad Ahritam Dakshinartam. Something that we can't even fathom. If you're dead, you're dead. He brought them back. So in Rama Avataram, though he was extremely obedient to Vasishta, devoted to him, for Acharya Devo Bhava, he had a regret that he had no Guru Dakshina to offer. That regret was cleared in Krishna Avataram, where he did the mission impossible of bringing the dead children back. Krishna has no regrets. Now, there is always an art of conveying information as acquired the right way. That's an art. I'm sure there are elderly people here, you will have a lot more rich gamut of experience to share. During school days, we used to have one small exercise by the teachers where they used to tell the information in our ear and we had to keep passing it. So the last person will bring out an information which is absolutely unrelated to what was said first. So that's generally, not being any racist, it used to be called the Chinese whisper. Somebody will say, oh, you're talking about Xi Jinping. No, I have nothing against him. Nothing for him as well. So it used to be called the Chinese whisper because it is an art to convey information as is without any adulteration. That's why technology has aided us today. We call it Insta Messenger, FB Messenger, WhatsApp. So it conveys information. So we know that nothing is lost unless and until it has an auto type thing. See, at times you will want to convey something and it will type something and send. At times it will go to the wrong person. That's another thing. They will get worried. So message has to be conveyed in a succinct fashion in the right way to the right person. That is messaging. In Rama Avataram, Rama was extremely aspirational of being a messenger. But मौका ही नहीं मिला. जब उनका जन्म तो हुआ अयोध्या में, बाद में जो आज्ञा कैकेयी माता और दशरथ जी ने दिया, वो दंडकारण्य वास करना 14 सालों के लिए था. अंत में the 14th year was a disaster. 13 years were a resort life. 13 years no problem. 14th year tragedy. Shurpanaka comes, she gets humiliated, she then complains to Karadushana, they come and fight, 14,000 demons Rama fights, then Ravana comes as a Parivrajaka, he abducts Sita, On the sojourn to find Sita, Rama comes from Maharashtra to Karnataka, Kishkinda Pradesha. From Sabudana Bada, he comes to the land of Bisibelebath. Then he travels all the way to Tamil Nadu for Adirasam. And then he has to convey, he has to first assure Sita that I'm there. For that you need a person who's extremely versatile. He needs a person who's extremely strong to carry the message first. That is when he chooses Hanuman, Anjaneya Swami, and says, Anjaneya, you go and convey. So Hanuman, being the excellent communicator, the extraordinary, what a character, what a valor, what a prowess Hanuman had. He takes his journey from Dakshina Bharatam, from a hillock called Mahendragiri, currently known as Tirukkurungudi. Have you heard of TVS? Tirukkurungudi, Vengarai, Sundaram, Iyengar and Sons. T stands for Tirukkurungudi, the hillock from where Hanuman took off. That is near Tirunelveli. Srivilliputturu is famous for? Sir. Now, Tirunelveli is famous for? See, got you. That's called catch 22. Now, see, Tirunelveli is famous for halwa. In the Tamil language, there are two phrases. Alva சாப்பிடுறது, alva குடுக்குறது. Alva குடுக்குறது doesn't mean you're giving, serving alva. It means you're cheating. Okay? Alva குடுத்துட்டாருன்னா ஏமாத்திட்டாருன்னு அர்த்தம். இல்ல அசைடு மாதிரி தலைவலையே ஆட்டம். அல்வா கொடுத்தாருன்னா ஏமாத்திட்டாருன்னு அர்த்தம். தமிழ்நாட்டில் எல்லாரும் சொல்லுங்க அல்வா கொடுத்துட்டாரு சார். So, near Tirunelveli is Tirukkurungudi. Hanuman took off. Hanuman went. He met Sita. He has never seen Sita before. He finally meets Sita. Tarkayamasa Sitayati. Through logical reasoning, he concludes this is Sita. Because she is not written here, right? J. Sita. Bardidara. Oh, are you Sita? It's a pleasure to see you here. She's in Devi Vishwakumar, right? Of Never Have I Ever. So, he meets up with Sita. He conveys the information. You know, at times you get so overwhelmed that you start stuttering. You wouldn't know what to say. Then you become a Shah Rukh Khan. So he didn't stutter, there was no. So he just said, Mata, Rama is coming to rescue you. Message conveyed diligently. That diligent prudence is Hanuman. Conveys what is to be spoken. Hitabhashi, Mitabhashi, Priyabhashi. What is to be spoken? நீங்க தானே சீதை, நன்னா இருக்க பார்க்க நினைச்சதை விட நன்னா இருக்கு. ரெட்டப்பேட்டா இருக்கே ருத்ராட்சம், என்ன மவுண்டன் பார்டர் ஹைகிரீவாசா இப்படின்லாம் கேட்காம spoke what is relevant. So he spoke to Sita, conveyed the message, returned to Rama and conveyed the message that he has seen Sita, contained Sitayu Drishta Sita. That's all. Rama then thought, what a wonderful role he has played by giving so much solace towards Sita initially that Rama is coming, and to me that Sita is safe. With absolutely not an iota of unwarranted or unwanted usage of words. What a messenger he is. Now Rama had this thought that I too should become a messenger one day. Because in Rama Avataram he couldn't be the messenger. Of course, later, Kabutar தான் போகும், இவரா போவார். So in Krishna Avataram, he was waiting for that regret in Rama Avataram that he couldn't be a messenger to be fulfilled. Came the opportunity after the 12 years of exile, Vanavasam of the Pandavas, the 13th year, 1 year of Ajnatavasam, the year of incognito, when the Pandavas returned to the guardianship of Drupada in Kampilya of Panchala Pradesham. First, a Brahmana was sent as a messenger. He did not have the the eloquence to stand before the tyrant Duryodhana, then Krishna said, it doesn't matter even if I'm the king of Dwaraka, for the sake of Pandavas, I will become your messenger. முன்னோர் தூது வானரத்தின் வாயில் நுழைந்து பின்னோர் தூது ஆதிமன்னர்க்காகி அவனே சென்றான் இன்னார் தூதனன் என்னான் எவ்வளவு கிடந்தாரே says திருமங்கையாழ்வார். Once he sent Hanuman as a messenger, he got so attached to the role that he had the regret that he should have played it. So in Krishna Avataram, he became the messenger. In Rama Avataram, he had the regret that he couldn't be a messenger. Krishna became the messenger called the Pandava Dutta. Krishna has no regrets. You know, some of them love driving cars. They just love on Bangalore roads. There is where the problem comes. Because to drive cars, you need roads. Right. So Krishna, Rama was very much into riding. In those days, of course, instead of the Audis and the Porsches and the Mercedes and the Hyundai, you had the chariot. They had to be driven by horses. The number of horses, the agility, the strength of the horses would determine how great a warrior you are. And in the days of the past, it was always a point to hire horses, import horses from some parts of the Kekeya Pradesham or Sindha Pradesham. Kekeya is the current day northeastern frontier of Afghanistan, some northern parts of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, lower parts of Central Asian countries. That was called Kekeya region. It was ruled by a set of kings who were given the title Ashwapati. Ashwa Shabdeti, Ashwa, that is why the tribe itself is called Ashwaka. In Persian, Shwa is not there. So Shwa becomes for Afgha. So in the lower part of Afghanistan, in the Sindh Pradesham, we call it Punjab, Sindh, Gujarat, Maratha, right? Sindh is the region where large tributaries of Sindhu river used to be flowing earlier. We have stopped for some time. So that region is around the Karachi. So that region, many people who migrated because of a lot of other partition problems are even today called Sindhis. Sindh Pradesham. So horses used to be nurtured there. Hence horses are called Saindhavam. Saindhavam, Ashvam. So horses used to be attached to chariots and the person used to have a lot of power driving those chariots. Rama wanted to ride. Like any other youngster, he wished to have his share in riding those chariots. While he was a little boy, father's charioteer called Sumantra drove for him. When Rama, Sita and Lakshmana managed to leave Ayodhya and go to the forest, Sumantra goes and drops them. So even then Rama did not drive. In throughout the forest there was no chariot. Towards the end of the forest period in the 14th year, when Rama goes constructing the Setu into Lanka fighting Ravana, that time the chariot is sent by Indra to fight Ravana. But Indra doesn't send the chariot, he sends the chariot with the charioteer called Matali. So there too Rama sat on the chariot, but he couldn't drive it because Matali was there as a charioteer earlier. Sumantra, now Matali. So Rama's love for chariots and driving was unfulfilled. There was a regret that he didn't drive. Now came Krishna Avatar. Krishna had a sister called Bhadra. Bhadram Avarajam, says Bhattatri. Bhadra in Sanskrit means Mangalatva. जो मंगलमय है उसी का शब्दवाचन है भद्र. भद्रं कर्णे शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येत् माक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवागुत्सस्तनूभिः. The same Vedam, right? That is why when Janaka gives his daughter in marriage, he says, Iyam Sita Mamasita Sahadharmacharitava Pratichachainam Bhadraante. Bhadram. May Rama and Sita, you live happily. Bhadram. Auspiciousness happened to you. But in Tamil, there is another meaning for Bhadram. Bhadra means careful. So Janaka says, I'm giving my daughter in marriage to you, my daughter Bhadram. Ashari pear chutu nikare. So that is Bhadram. So Rama wanted to ride the chariot. It didn't happen. Krishna Avataram, he had a sister called Bhadra, prefixed with the Aksharam Su. Su means good Bhadra. So, Kaushalya, she had children. Yes, like us, no. Supraja. Kausalya, Supraja. She had good children. Can we say? So, Subhadra was a sister of Krishna, and she was given in marriage to her own maternal aunt's son, Arjuna. Attige magalva. So, Kumari's son. In Tamil, Atta Pillai kenna solva? Attan. So that Attan was given in marriage. So Arjuna was related to Krishna two ways. One, cousin. See, English is a beautiful language. All of them are cousins. But all are aunties. All are uncles. Chikkappa, Doddappa, Mama, everybody is uncle. They are all great philosophical people. English, Ren, Martin and Victoria, they have thought, why should we have such an elaborate vocabulary? Cousin. All Indians are my cousins and other. So, Subhadra married her own cousin. Thereby Arjuna became the cousin to son-in-law of the house. On the other hand, Krishna had a wife called Jambavati. Kelidira hesru. Jambavati Krishnanige, ee dampatige, Mahadeva Prasadarinda uttiro maganige Shambha anta hesru. Shambhu Prasada Shamba. Shamba, who was the son of Krishna, married Duryodhana's daughter. Adanam guttilla sir. Idiyavata it's sad. Had this happened, wouldn't Arnab ask? Nation wants to know. Nation wants to know. When did Duryodhana's daughter marry? She married. It is there in Mahabharata. Just that if we assume that the only portion is B.R. Chopra, then it is wrong. Beyond that, there is Mahabharata. So Krishna and Arjuna were sambandhis. See, Krishna's bad karma, he has to introduce Duryodhana Idalu and Sambandhi in area. So that is why when it was decided that there will be a yuddha. See what? Well, Krishna was resting one day after a siesta in Dwaraka, Gujarat. What did he eat? Unthiyo, Fafra, Khanvi, Thepla, Chunda. After having all of this, well, Krishna was having a power nap in the afternoon. Duryodhana came and sat near his head. In a few minutes later, Arjuna came and sat near his feet. A famous incident. Krishna got up and said, Arjun, action king. Eppadi parke? Kemcho? That is when, even before Arjuna could answer, see what? Duryodhana said, I came first. And you are inquiring of this man? Krishna said, see, I'll ask you now, how are you? Itna hi puch raha hai na? How are you? Why didn't you ask me? Krishna said, see, when you wake up from your sleep, you will wake up straight like this. You will not wake up like this with your head backwards. Why did you go sit behind Abu? Then they said, see, there is going to be a yuddham. You are related to both of us. You have to help. So Krishna said, I will give you two options. One side, I will keep my entire army with S-400, Rafale, F-30, whatever you want, we'll keep. On the other side, it is me. Choose. Even before Duryodhana could open his mouth, Krishna said, whenever Shastram says, there is a Shastra Vakyam, whenever there is property, some thing is to be distributed, you should always give the first choice to the younger one. This is what Shastram says. So I will ask Arjun, Arjun, हमें क्या चाहिए बोल? Arjuna said, I want you, Krishna. This Duryodhana, Happa. I want the big army. So he said, I will take the army. He went back to his maternal uncle called Shakuni. He told Mama, we have won. We have got an entire retinue, battalion with all our required weaponry. Trust me, Mama. Shakuni was very intelligent. He said, leave that aside. Where is Krishna? He said, Arjuna has taken you, fool. You have left that man on the other side. What will we do with this S-400? The operating system is with him. He has all that. What will we do with this weaponry? So, what should I do, Mama? Go and ask Krishna that he should not fight this war. He should not use his weapon. He goes back. He says, Krishna, actually I was supposed to ask you something. There was an appendix to it. I forgot to ask. I mean, don't fight. Krishna said, done, I will not fight. Shakuni was still of the assumption that if Krishna doesn't fight, this war will not end. Because without fighting, see, if you say, I wish to go to the Kargil land war. Oh, you're going to the Kargil war, what are you going to do? Nodake hogta idini sa. Very, yen yuddha ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು sir. If you're going to Yuddha Bhumi, you should fight. If Krishna has promised that he will not use a weapon, then what use will he serve on Kurukshetra Bhumi? So Krishna has a promise, I will not fight. Krishna returned. Duryodhana returned. Now Arjuna asked Krishna, if you've given away your army there, you are not fighting, then what will you do? Krishna said, wait, don't get tense. Out. Where is your Sarathi? He said, sir, he is doing very well. My Sarathi, he has been serving me for many years. Send him on casual leave for 18 days. Paid leave could be. Sir, Krishna, if I send him for 18 days, who will be my Sarathi? Should I fix through easy drive? Hengi namge Sarathi siktare. Krishna said, don't worry, I will be your Sarathi. Arjuna said, Krishna, you will be my Sarathi? Yes, because a charioteer doesn't have to fight. He just has to lead the chariot in the front. Shakuni is of the assumption that if I vow not to use my weapons, I will not fight. Go tell him that I will be a charioteer and ask your brothers to keep their mobile data on. I will send them messages and even without fighting, I will ensure this yuddham gets over in 18 days. I don't need to lift a weapon. I will just use that little rod that is used to flog the horses. That is more than enough for me to complete this yuddham. So Arjuna thought, what a great man Krishna is. Dwaraka Adisha, for my sake, is become a charioteer. He didn't realize in Rama Avataram, Rama had a regret that he couldn't become the charioteer. In Krishna Avataram, he became Partha Sarathi. So Krishna has no regrets. See, the most infectious thing on this. The most infectious thing on planet Earth is this mic. Once you give it, the person will never give it back. People who have attended my lectures know. I keep on speaking. So in Rama Avataram, Rama was given the mic. But he could barely speak. There is nothing called Rama Gita. Have you heard of it? Rama Gita and the Yaudi. Papa. When his father said, go to the forest, he went. Had it been Krishna, he would have sued his father. $4 million. Kapil Sibal would have fought the case. So, Rama listens to his parents. So, he left for the forest. So, there is nothing called Upadesham of Ramapadesham anta yavudu illa. ಆದರೆ ಯುದ್ಧಕಾಂಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಶ್ಲೋಕ. ಸಕೃದೇವ ಪ್ರಪನ್ನಾಯ ತಾಸ್ಮೀತಿ ಚ ಯಾಚತೆ ಅಭಯಂ ಸರ್ವಭೂತೇಭ್ಯಃ ದದಾಮಿ ಏತದ್ವೃತಂ ಮಮ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ರಾಮಚರಣ ಶ್ಲೋಕ, ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಶ್ಲೋಕ. ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ವಿಭೀಷಣ ಶರಣಾಗತಿ, ರಾಮ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಅಭಯ ಪ್ರದಾನಂ. ಮುತ್ತುಸ್ವಾಮಿ ದೀಕ್ಷಿತ, one of the greatest Vagayakaras of Shastriya tradition. It is his 250th year this year. Kshiti pati naka charanam sevita vibhishanam kshiti bharadam shruta chintamani magha haranam kshitijaaramadam chintaye shriramam bhava karanam kshitijaaramadam. During Vibhishana Sharanagati, he spoke one verse. It became viral. One verse. Yarade vari. Anushtup Chandas 32 akshara. Anushtup Chandas. One verse, 2 lines. It became viral, like Kolavaridi. You know? Why this Kolavari na take? If I say Shri Rama Rama Ramyati, 1000 views. Dhanush says Kolavari, 10 million views. I messaged Dhanush, we will collaborate from now on. Okay? So Rama thought, by being an Acharya myself, I spoke 2 lines. It became viral. That means it's a tried and tested method to speak. Bhaiyo and Behno. So you have to speak. In Krishna Avataram, he was waiting for an opportunity to speak. Mike did not come to him. ಆ ಕಡೆ ಮೈಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ವಿದುರನ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ವಿದುರ ನೀತಿ, ಯುಧಿಷ್ಠಿರನ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಯಕ್ಷ ಕೃಷ್ಣ, ಧೃತರಾಷ್ಟ್ರನ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸನತ್ ಸುಜಾತೀಯ, ಎಲ್ಲರ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಮೈಕು, ಅವ್ರ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. First day when he was a Sarathi, Arjuna asked, people who are standing in front of me are my relatives. அவர் உடம்பில் ஓடும் ரத்தமும் என் உடம்பில் ஓடும் ரத்தினும் ஒன்றல்லவா, ரத்தத்தோடு கலந்த ரத்தம் அல்லவா. They all related to me, Krishna. One is my cousin, one is my teacher. Krishna said, did you realize that both of you are A positive today? All these years they were related. Suddenly you are coming to the battlefield and then invoking A positive, O positive, AB negative. What should Krishna have done on the battlefield? This man is absolutely in confusion, chaos, pandemonium. He asks if he should be fighting. What should Krishna do? He should have opened his eyes that he opened in Narasimha Avataram and said, fight him now. He would have fought. Instead, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. Arjuna forgot what he asked. ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೆ, ಯುದ್ಧ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಲ್ವೋ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ರೈಟ್, ಎಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ. He explains Arjuna Vishada Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Sthita Pragya, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Mattaparaparna 7th, Rajavidya, Rajagushyam in the 9th Adhyaya, Devasura Vibhaga Yoga, Mama. Arjuna says, stop it. 700 verses ho gaya. I will fight. That's all you want, right? I will fight. Why? In Ramadavaram, Bhagavan had the regret that he could never speak and give Upadesham. In Krishna Avataram, he became Gita Acharya. Krishna has no regrets. I'm sure there will be very experienced, learned people, grandparents here, there will be parents here, there will be prospect parents here, parents with little children, grandparents with little grandchildren.
You all know that I'm your son's age or your brother's age. I have no qualification in me to even advise. But I can suggest with my little experience that I travel every year to different places. I can tell you 250 lectures I give in a year. 190 days I'm out of my house. My people are happy at home. Acha, what? No, they will generally ask, how do you feel when he's not at home? They will say, we are happy. So, I keep traveling, I keep meeting lot of astikas in my hometown, in other places and places abroad. With that little experience, Sulpa Anubhava, my humble submission to parents or grandparents is, whatever skills or knowledge you wish your child had has to be facilitated at a very young age. Don't leave that period when children are like a blotting paper. They are like a sponge. They just take everything. Don't leave that period. See, often when I say, make them listen to Ramayana. Suppose I speak on the Ramayana and the YouTube, they say, keep playing. The parents say, oh, they won't understand. I said, see, I'm not asking about your ability. The child can understand. See, don't get judgmental. We always think we can't understand, so the child won't understand. Test me. Happy children who will not even have concentration, they will understand things better than you. So give them that opportunity. If you don't give them that opportunity, then how will they learn? See, when did Lava Kusha give Ramayana Pravachana? When did it learn? When did Shuka learn? He's a parrot. Shuka the hell Baba Shiva Panjara Shuki Pankaja Maki Guru Varanja Vidikita Vanjan Niranjani Kanjaranaya Dakshi Shuka, parroting. Children can repeat. Give them that opportunity. Tales on the past go round and round. Yesterday we deal with that. Is there any model in that line? Can get there. They will learn. They will even understand. Trust me, I'm telling you a practical experience. The children can understand. One is there. Again, this is my suggestion. Don't think that I'm promoting something. Two things that you need to teach your children, boy or girl. One, music, second, dance. This is my opinion. So, dance You don't learn Natyam to become Padma Subramanyam or Chitra Vishweshwaran on the Dhananjayans. Dance brings discipline in your life. Natya Shastram has that power. Music has that power. And you do sadhana every day in music, right? That gives you discipline. If you learn music, slowly you imbibe music, you'll keep on humming. Hum Kalyani, Manava Nadi Toli, Vera Nadi Karamoro, Yan Kati Dhatita Mekhala, Kachita Mani Kantita, Kirate Ashiki, Chaga. You start assessing the course. Every time your mind starts calculating the smaras, the shujjam will come, the vajjam will come, and all starts calculating. So music is a science as well. So Shastriya Sangeetam and Shastriya Natyam is a pleasure. Become extremely aesthetic when you learn these things, how to decide architecture. Okay, now some music and dance are good. Did Ramayana? Yes. See, in Ayodhya Kandam, if you go to the Moola Grantham like Rajdeep, you can do fact check for me. Rajdeep, Sardesai, will fact check everything but his wife's. So, you fact check me. I have no problem. In the Ramayana and Ayodhya Kanda, when Dasharatha asks his ministers that I have decided to make my son the heir apparent, do you think he has the necessary qualities? Can I make my son a minister just because he has done a car race? In Tamil Nadu, they made one. So, does my son have the ability? That time the minister is saying, yes. What are the qualities that you can enlist that ensures that my son Rama has it? They say he is good in Gandharva Veda, singing. So, Rama aadtana. Kaltidare. But you see many of them in your family, they would have learned music, will be very shy. Actually, I'm out of practice. I just can't sing. My voice won't suit. So Rama learned. But Rama later said, see, I learned, but I didn't sing. Kaltidini adre adu prastuta madilla. In Krishna Avataram, he was waiting. He started music lessons early. Sare Gama Padani Sa Sarali Varisai. Sari 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 Gama. That's a repetitive. It's called Jhanta. Then went to Sthai. Then he went to Getam. Lampu Daralapni Karo. Dvarajina Mridupani Kamala Jabana Nirano Parumanaba Parama Purusha. Then he went to Alankaram. Then he went to Varya. He learned all this. Krishna learned. Then his teacher said, you better shift to instrumental. ಬೇಡ ನೀವು ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಕಲಿದ್ದು ಬೇಡ ಹಾಡ್ಬೇಡ ನೀನು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್. So then Krishna inquired with Jayanti Kumaresh and asked, can I learn Veena? She said it is very tough to carry everywhere in concerts. Then after learning from Ali, Ramani, Shashank and Jayan, Krishna concluded, I will take the flute. Easiest to carry. Hadu beda. You have to just play. Yadavaraya Vrindavanarulo Venu Nadava Madhutire Radhamantata Gopiyarinna Madhusudananimmana Sevisotira Shivaram Amparadi Sambani Siri Apsarastirumai Maratire Yadaraya Praditamanatiluruti Padatayanaki Valuti Maritana Untanitavanatinavarti Yanaki Unachikurat Mugitava Alayadalalanin Tadiravanuliyana Yunanurutavalatalikava Kadal Madanakidana Yakavani Taramadarudan Yikalikau Irupavina Irumudaridu Paramantane Kalaladan Purdiladidun Korean Kona Manaru Yakuru Adaipandu Tanayuanamu Adaipandu Unada Belohana Venu Vanamadin. So, Rama Avataram learned music. He didn't listen. He had the regret. In Krishna Avataram, he played the conch. He played the flute. And Bhagavad Gita, remember, he did not utter. Rattas parataram nanyata kinchidasti dhananjaya Mahi sarvamida protamam Shotre maniganaiva. It is standard tune Bhagavad Gita ke. Atha Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Vedashastra, Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvada, Sankhya Yoga Rama Dviteya Dhyaya Angila. Mattarataranavate kinchivasti dharanjava mavi sarvamidam prom sakramaniganaiva Paritranaya sadhana vinashaya chatushkrutam Isai, how do you know? What is it? It is called Bhagavad Gita. Aurobindo said, the song of the Lord. In Rama Avataram, he had the regret that he never sang or played the instrument. In Krishna Avataram, he listened the instrument and sang. Krishna has no regrets. In Rama Avataram, Rama knew how to dance. That is also mentioned in the Ramayana. Vaiharikaha, he knew how to dance. But do we see Krishna Rama dancing? No, he is very calm and composed. Stands with the gate of the royal elephant and the lion. Karnataka Pradeshali, Hiremagaluru, Kenadira. Beautiful temple. Please visit Rama there. Hiremagaluru Rama is a person whom you can go and hug and embrace him. Perfectly. Hiremagaluru. Chikkamangaluru itara Hiremagaluru. ಆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲೂ ತೆಲಂಗಾಣ ಪ್ರದೇಶದ ಉನ್ನ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರವು ಭದ್ರಾಚಲಂ. ಅನುಪಮಾನಮೈ ಅತಿ ಸುಂದರಮೈ ಧನುರುಚಕ್ರಮೈ ಧವಧವಮಿರಿಸದಿ ಅದಿಗೋ ಭದ್ರಾದ್ರಿ ಗೌತಮಿ ಇದಿಗೋ ಚೂಡಂಡಿ. Very handsome. Ramadasu Kanchana Govana fell in love with Rama. In Kerala, there is a kshetram near Guridayu. ആ ക്ഷേത്രത്തിന്റെ പേര് ത്രിപ്രയാർ. നാലമ്പലത്തിലുള്ള മൂലക്ഷേത്രമാണ്. Bhattatri says, Girvani Rachanano Dashamakanidanam Kosalisho Risheshunyo Putriya Vishti Mishra Dadushi Dasharakshma Bhidepaya Sadhyanta Bhutva Tatvam Vishkatu Krishi Susamam Jatadadha Sujata Ramasthun Lakshmanena Swaramaka Marapiganapi Shaptu Galanamna T Dashakam 34-35 dedicated to Ramayana. Swati Pillai Tilakajan Tilakam Divyavadhisuta Savana Vanarachiko Suda Mukravadhavaya Pavanam. Rama in Kerala Tripayar is handsome. In Tamil Nadu, everywhere but is Rama. The chief ministers, Ramachandran, Janaki, all Rama's names. Rama is addressed by Tyagaraja as Karunanidhi. Clear? I quote that Kriti Shri Rama Jaya Jaya Sitama Manohara Karunya Jaladhe Karunanidhi Jaya Jaya. He's Karunanidhi. Rama's name is Karunanidhi. Who takes that bhakti to Karunanidhi Rama forward? His daughter-in-law. She is taking it forward. Now, in Tamil Nadu, plenty of kshetrams for Rama near Chennai, Madhurantakam, Karunakara, Pillavaraham Rama, Tirupullanurangudi Rama, Tirupullanuri Rama, Velliyangudi Rama, Vaduvur Rama, Villayanur Rama. Which Rama should I be? The grandeur of the temples of the Cholas and the Pallavas and the Pandavas. Previously, they were 100% 916 Sanatanis. Rama is so handsome. But he didn't dance. He learned dance, he didn't dance. He had that regret. Always in the calm and composed, complete man Raymond posture. So he never danced. He outsourced this to Krishna. Unlike Rama, who was very diet conscious. See, Rama was extremely diet conscious. Quinoa, brown rice, and some tofu to go with it, and olive or avocado oil, and just toss, and some jalapeno and some olives to go on the top. With that dressing, he was extremely conscious. Krishna is like us. Rameshwaram cafe dosa. ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಬರೀ 1947 ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು. He ate anything and everything. What oil? Nothing. That is why if you look at young Krishna's picture, he'll be stout. Sri Vasudeva Andakotla. He danced. Gym body Rama, whey protein Rama didn't dance. He had that regret. He also said to Krishna, when will Krishna dance? He stood on Kaliya. See, generally, dancers are adept in dancing on fixed stages. Stage fixed ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು, ಅವ್ರು ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. But Krishna is the greatest. He danced on a dancing stage. See, trampoline ಅಂತ ಇದು children play, right? It will just bounce him back. Kaliya himself was moving. On that he danced. Tami takajam, takajam. ನೀಲ ಮನೋಹರ ಜನ ವಿಭೂಷಣ ನಿರತಿಶ ನಂದನ ನೀರಜ ತಟಾಕ ಅದಿಗ ಮೃಗಕರ ನಿಕಟ ತರಂಬು ಕಟಾಟಂಕ ನರ್ತಕ ಹತ್ತಕ ತಾಂ ತತ್ತೋ ತತ್ತೈ ತೆಗ ಜಗತ್ತಿಗೆ ಜಗನಂದನ್ ಯಮುನಾ ತಟಾಕ ಗತಗಂಗನ್ ಹಿಮ ಪತಸ್ವನ ರಂಪ ಶುಭಾಂಗ ತರುಣಾ ಪಾಂಗಂ. Even before the parcel tongue was born, hitas tatas Tata Karula on well. He dances like a snake. Adavarini Godatara Alina Prativara Eden Kritavi Badavan Kutamaravi Badati Ravani Tadari Utamar Bezo Shita Parinachayam. He danced. Later with the Gopika Sri Siri Rasatira Pushapasha Vitatinchika. He danced. In Rama Avataram, he regretted that he learned dance and never performed. In Krishna Avataram, he did Kaliya Nartanam and Rasa Krida. Krishna has no regrets. Krishna. That said, in this great journey of Krishna through his relationship with his mother, father, sister, Acharya, friend, Sarathi, of dance, of music, of Upanyasam, all of what he wanted to do in Rama Avataram, he accomplished that in Krishna Avataram. That is why Andal simply said, Kurai regrets illada without Govinda. Krishna has no regrets. The Governor General of India, prior to the Republic being born, was C. Rajagopalachari, abbreviated or known as Rajaji. He composed a composition on this Bhagavan, taking care from Andal's line and gave it to one of the icons of Shastriya Sangeetam known as M.S. Subbulakshmi. She sang this composition at very many places, including in United Nations under the grace of Kanchi Paramacharya. In this beautiful premises that you have all gathered on such a beautiful Sunday evening, I would like to join you all in this composition now. Marimoti Kaila Kurai Vardunillai Govinda Kurai Vardunillai Marimoti Kaila Kurai Vardunillai Kurai Vardunillai Govinda கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாமல் நிற்கின்றாய் கண்ணா கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாமல் நின்றாலும் எனக்கு குறைவதும் இல்லை மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ணா வேண்டியதை தந்திட வேண்ட தோஷம் என்றிருக்க வேண்டிய வேலை மரணி வழி வல்லா நலவப்ப கோவிந்த கோவிந்த திரையின் நிற்கின்றார்கள். உன்னை மறைவோதும் ஞானிய மட்டும் தாண்டா திரையின் பின்னிற்கின்றார்கள். உன்னை மறைவோம் ஞானியர் மட்டுமே காண்பாரியும் குறைவோடும் எனக்கில்லை கண்ணா என்றாலும் குறைவோடும் எனக்கில்லை கண்ணா குன்றின குறைபோதை வரையோர்த்தே கண்ண குறைபொன்றில்லை மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ணமை வல்லா மலையப்ப கோவிந்த கோவிந்த கலிநாடு இறங்கி கலினே நிலையாப கோயிலில் நிற்கின்றாள் கேசவ கலிநாடு இறங்கி கலினே இறங்கி நிலையாக கோயிலில் நிற்கின்றாள் கேசவர குறைவோதும் இல்லை மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ண யாரும் மறுக்காத மலையப்ப யாரும் மறுக்காத மலையப்பாவின் மார்பில் ஏதும் தர நிற்கும் கருணை கடலன்னை என்றும் இருந்திட எது குறை எனக்கு என்றும் இருந்திட ஏது குறை எனக்கு ஒன்றும் குறையில்லை மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ணா. மணிவண்ணா மலையப்ப கோவிந்த 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 கோவிந்த.
Namaskaram. In the coming months of November, December, January and February, there are very many discourses of mine both in Tamil and in English across different cities. The details of them have been posted on all my social media handles. Nevertheless, once more, for your attention and for your sake, I would like to read out very quickly. On the 1st of November, I have a keynote address at the Western Ghats Lit Fest. And in the evening, I've got a lecture on Bhajagovindam for Mahaperiva group at Mayflower Shakti Gardens. On the 2nd of November, I'm very delighted to be performing Sangeeta Katha Nrityam with Sangeetam Vidwan Aditya Madhavan, dance by Shruti Priya Vignesh, and the topic is Bhajagovindam, where I will be speaking at Naradagana Sabha. On the 15th of November, I will be giving a lecture on the lives and the works of Alvars for Bharati Vidya Bhavan in Bangalore. On the 29th of November, there is a mega event where I will be speaking on the 6 witnesses with 4 great musicians, Surya Gayatri, Spurti Rao, Vishruti and Swaratmika, with the dance by Smriti Sudhakar at the Music Academy. 30th of November, I will be speaking on Guru Guhananda in English, the contributions made by Mudduswami Dikshita at the Bengaluru Gayana Samaja. On the 5th of December at Hosur, Dasappa Kalyana Mantapam, I'll be talking on Bhajagovindam. On the 6th of December at Shri Yadugiri Yatiraja Matha in Malleshwaram, Bangalore on Shri Krishna Leela. On the 10th of December for Margari Mahautsavam, the topic will be Pasurapadi Ramayanam with Anahita and Apurva. 11th of December at Bharati Vidya Bhavan, Ramanuja Charitram, a Harikatha with Anahita and Apurva. On the 12th of December, it's a closed door event for the Rotary Club of Madras East. 13th of December with Kiran and Nivi, it's a Harikatha on Kulashekar Alvar Vaibhavam at RK Convention Center in Mailapur. 14th of December, Shastra Satsang Vadaparani. Being the Narayaniyam day, it's a special lecture on Narayaniyam Enum Wonder. And 15th December at Sri Shankara Vidyashramam, conducted by Karnataka and Tiruvanmayur, it will be a Harikatha with Anahita and Apurva on Attigiri Varadar Vandar. And 16th of December at Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan for Karthik Fine Arts, it is Harikatha on Annamaya Charitram with Swaratmika. 17th of December at Shastra Satsang again, Vedanta Deshika Charitram Harikatha with Rangan Brothers from Melbourne. On the 18th of December at Bharat Kalachar, it's a Harikatha on Periyalvarum, Andalum with Rangan Brothers yet again at TP Road. 19th of December in the morning, Ramanuja Millennium Auditorium for Charsur Arts. We will be doing a Harikatha with Anahita and Apurva on Rama Bhaktiyum Vibhaktiyum. Followed by that, on the 19th of December at Karnataka Sangha School for Anusham Arts Academy, it will be a Harikatha on Ramanatakam of Arunachala Kavi with Swaratmika. And on the 20th of December in the morning for Parthasarathi Swami Sabha at Vidya Bharati Kalyana Mantapam, it will be Upanyasam on Shatpadiyum, Saptapadiyum. And 20th of December evening, Naradagana Sabha, it is a beautiful Harikatha on Nari Shakti, Stri Shakti with Anahita and Apurva. 21st of December in the morning for Sharanalayam, Mahaperiyava Sharanalayam in Nanganallur, there will be a lecture on Shatpadiyum and Saptapadiyum. In the afternoon, it is an interview at the Tamil Virtual Academy Auditorium at Koturpuram on the Alvars. And then on 21st of December evening at Shoringanallur at Umadri Mahal, it will be a topic called Kamban Yenum Ramabhaktan. The same topic, Kamban Yenum Ramabhaktan, I will be speaking on the 22nd of December at Tirunelveli for Nellai Sangeeta Sabha. 23rd of December at Shivakasi for Vairam Meera Convention Center. On the 24th of December for Setupati School in Madurai, the same topic. And on the 30th of December, tentatively I am to speak on the importance of Nutyat Divyadesham on the Vaikuntha Ekadashi Eve for PGP Auditorium in Singapore. On the 31st of December, it is for Tamil Isai Mandram in Georgetown. I will be speaking on Tiruppugadil Ramayanam. And coming to the month of January, on the 17th of Jan, I will be speaking on Narayaniyam in Wonder for Shanmukhananda in Mumbai. On the 18th of December, it is our grand production called Agre Pashyami at the very same premises. On 1st of February, I am to participate and speak at the Jain University Summit in Kochi. And 13th of February, it will be a special lecture for Shivaratri for Odakattur Mutt, which will be organized by Ramakrishna Bhajana Sabha. On the 22nd of February, for the first time, I am going to be a part of Mayuram Bhajanotsavam in the very, very famous and very close to heart Mayavaram. So that is the program for now. I know it's too many programs. All this has been put in the form of poster. Please do participate wherever you can. Namaskar.